Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorestore.com. I'd like to share with you an update. This is the 1950 Ford F47 pickup. The last time we shared with you the cab and the doors, we were just finishing up on the fine sanding and getting ready to paint it. Now obviously it's painted now, so we've just taken it from the paint booth ready to bring it into the shop, but it's really noisy in the shop right now. The unfortunate thing is it's cloudy and overcast, kind of a dreary day, but I thought what we'd do is just share with you a brief walk around not only on the cab but also on the doors that we also have set out here. So if you remember in the previous videos, the firewall from the other shop that it came from, they had some different kind of materials like rocker guard and black type of coating on the complete bottom side and firewall, where I prefer to do it like they did in the factory, which is having the correct color throughout. So in an earlier video we shared with you where the whole bottom of the cab, so the cab floor underneath facing the gravel, we painted that first with the correct color, and then we masked it, we set it down on a special dolly, and then painted the rest. So the complete cab all the way around is painted now with this nice factory correct Ford cream or beige color. So we're quite happy with the way it turned out. You can see the roof now. It's unfortunate that it's so cloudy and overcast, but I think the shine will still come out. The bodywork turned out very, very nice. It's very smooth. There's a lot of tricky curves on the 1950 Ford. So this is an F47, which is a Canadian truck. If it was an American vehicle, it would be the F1, which is virtually identical truck. So what we wanted to do is make sure that we had all of the cab protected with paint. So the inner cowl where the fender kind of covers this section, we still wanted to make sure that it's painted like it did from the factory. And then we come around, our cardboard and our tie down is covering the rocker panel, but we've also done the inner rocker panel where most guys like to paint that black or rocker guard. And then I think you can see the dash from that angle. We've got our door openings, our door jambs, we've got our rail coming all the way around. There's not too much on the inside. The most important part is this header panel that goes across above the visor that meets the roof, and you can see it obviously is all nice. It's got 3 coats of this premium single stage paint, and it comes down the windshield posts, and obviously we've done all of the dash and the bottom edge of the dash, and we come around the back. The only thing around the back on the interior is the back window surround. The rest will be all covered with those cardboard-like black panels. And then as you come around to the rear passenger corner, you can see how nice the cab corner turned out. All of the detail in the curves. We'll share with you again once we have it inside the shop in fluorescent lighting. It'll give you a different perspective of it. But we painted all of the back cab where most people will just paint the portion that the cab or the box does not cover. We prefer to finish it all, so it's all been finished properly. You can see around the back window all of the detail and block sanding work. All of that hard work pays off now because we have really nice lines. This basically looks like a brand new 1950 cab now. And as we come around to the driver's side, we didn't do the floor. We got the floor. It has the 2-part black epoxy to seal it all, so that's just a little bit of overspray from the original paint. And what we'll end up doing is we're going to install a sound deadener material before we start installing things in the firewall. So this turned out quite nicely. If you recall, we had replaced the rotten lower cowl panels. The cab corners needed quite a bit of work and a lot of detail work. So we're quite happy with the way the result, the way it turned out. We now have the original factory body lines, even in simple things like the dash, because there's your speedo bezel goes in this section here, but you can see where we have this groove, this body line that comes across and then meets the stereo filler. You can see that seam, which was kind of lost before, it had a bunch of different kind of products and body fillers and stuff. So we repaired all of the dents and all the damage, and now we have these proper body lines back. You can see your speaker hole, and everything has the definition that it originally had back in 1950. So we moved from the cab and the cowl, and then we just come over to the doors. So we have special stands, and we painted both sides of the doors at the same time, but they're on hard to see on the stand. So we'll share with you once again an upcoming video. But you can see how nice the doors are now. So once again, it looks quite shiny, but it's a really overcast day. There's not a lot of sunlight. And once again, the detail around the hinges, we paid close attention. We wanted to make sure that the hinges are protected all the way around with paint. So we've got both the insides and the outsides, and now we have all the proper detail work. The door panels, the bodywork turned out quite nice, and then we have our factory original groove that comes along here that was kind of lost previously. So there's a lot less material on it because we stripped it to bare metal, as you can recall, and then epoxy, primer, and then a little bit of body smoother where needed. But this turned out quite nice. So this is your driver's door, and then over here we have our passenger door. And once again, I apologize being so cloudy outside, but same kind of attention to detail where the paint laid quite nice. We've got some dust already. And then once again with the hinges, you can see a lot of attention to detail where we have to make sure that we get all of the paint around all of your door channels, both inside and out. And then if the camera can come around to where the hinge post area is over here, you can see, now you don't really see this section of the door when it's on the cab, but you can see everything is done correctly and it's painted as it should, so it's all protected properly and the hinges look basically like brand new from 1950. So just another step in this total ground-up restoration of the 1950 Ford F47. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorestore.com.